Okay, there's a Korean term called 애교살.
Okay.
Do you know what 애교살
Nope.
is? It's like the fat right underneath your eyes. And so when you smile, so people draw a lot of lines
so when
to
you
make
smile,
애교살. And
like
you have natural
I always
애교살.
thought those just had to do with eye bags.
No.
Or salt. You know how
No.
your eyes get really puffy when you have too much salt?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Yeah. Or for example, a huge cultural thing in Korea is when you wake up and your eyes are poofy, it's either you cried or you had ramen at 2 a.m. So that's when 애교살 comes out.
I am looking at you.
I'm looking at you directly now, but I can see it in the mirror, even though I don't have my contacts in.
That's fair.
I can see it because it raises your eyes, and then I can see a little bit of your crow's feet as
The
well.
most common thing, if anybody does make a comment about what I look like, it's that I have nice eyes or pretty eyes, which is always very nice to hear. I was a cashier at Whole Foods, and I also worked at a Chipotle for a bit, and every once in a while, a middle to older age woman, and she's like, "Oh my God, you have the most beautiful eyes," and it always makes me blush a lot, but it's
For the yearbook, they did a baby photo and guess who is the
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then we had our teacher try and guess all of us, and he got a lot of them right. I'm like, how did you do that? And he said it's all in the eyes. I think back to COVID, a lot of the times when people are wearing masks, the main defining feature was people's eyes.
Oh, that's
and so
a
I
good
feel
point.
I really came to recognize people just by their eyes and their hair, honestly. I love my hair. But for a while, I was like, what if I just shaved it all off? Would it match my face shape? Regardless of whether or not, I just own it, I would still like it to match my face shape. Right. And then it became this whole debate, is my face, round, square, diamond? I still don't know what it is. But I feel now, especially, it looks different with, my curtain bangs.
I met this one stranger one time, and she told me the first thing she noticed about me was my face framing layers. I was this insecure Asian middle school girl, am hearing that something is complimenting my face. Wow. And that was such a monumental moment for me in terms of my relationship with my body and my racial identity, and coming to terms with that as an 11-year-old, 12-year-old.
Yeah.
That's when you start to incorporate, okay, what does this part of me mean? What does this mean? What can I do with this?
So this picture right here is a picture of me in 2022, right before I started testosterone and started my transition. And this is a picture of me yesterday. The structure of my jaw is different. My face was so much rounder, and my face is so much more square here. I think when I took this picture, I was using he, him pronouns, and now I use they or he pronouns. And I feel that also has to do with when I went on testosterone, seeing the structures of my face changed. I felt more comfortable with myself. So I feel more comfortable doing more feminine things like wearing makeup and stuff. Before I realized I was trans and before starting testosterone, when I would look in the mirror, I had a lot of trouble recognizing it as my face. I would get dressed up and I would be like, oh, I look good today, but it wouldn't really be I look good today. The more my face changes and the more that I get comfortable with expressing myself as my face changes, the more I look in the mirror and I recognize my face as my own face.
Elementary school, my nickname was Chubby Cheeks. And I have a yearbook that everyone signed it Chubby Cheeks. But no one could spell, so it was all of it was Chubby Checks. That sort of stuff. People say I look like my grandpa, the same sort of lips, and we have sort of pointy ears. People say I look like an elf when I was growing up. When you're in America, people can't really tell if you're Chinese or Korean, but people in China knew I was Korean somehow. It's they were selling my facial structure, my cheekbones, and something like that. They knew I wasn't Chinese, even though I spoke Chinese. It's weird, things people don't notice here, but people notice when you're abroad or something.
My dad still tells me I look the exact same. Do you think that's
well,
true?
Obviously you look like you've grown up, but yeah. Smile. Yeah. Yeah. I still see it.
So these are some things that have like developed over time. Like this dimple here, like I have a couple of like small ones. Like this one.
Oh, wait, they're so cute.
It's like there sometimes, but it's not always there. So it's like
so
they decide to show up when they want to show up in a sense. When my weight fluctuates, my face fluctuates.
Right, yeah.
And so I've learned how to like love my face at every single point in weight, especially when, you know, you're growing up and you're going through like puberty and like everything that has happened in college in terms of maybe even like stress or whatever changes, your face like reflects it. And
Right.
I'm kind of, I feel like I could speak for both of us. We're at the stage where our faces reflect our experiences to some extent, and yet, I don't know, I'm very
Don't go. You're half of me now, but I'm hardly stood proud. I said it all now. Oh, I've been low, but damn it, I bet it don't.
get everyone's attention for a second. We just wanted to give a huge shout out to our seniors this year. Debbie, Hannah, Kiran, Arlene, and Sharon. We love and appreciate you guys so much. So let's give ours a
I can't seem to let myself leave you, but I can't breathe.